Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to my anime review. Today we look at episode 4 of Beatless. Now, I'm going to say this right now. Beatless is a show that I've enjoyed for what it does, but at the same token, every week it feels like it's missing something. And it's not that it's a bad show. I don't want people to think that right away. I think when you say something even a little bit bad about a show, people immediately freak out, and if they love the show, they're like, oh my god, what, how? And they start typing away like, I can't believe you said that. It's not that I hate the show. By all means, this show's not bad. It's enjoyable. And I've had many commenters say the same thing and mirror what I say, where if a show's enjoyable, that's a good thing. That means the show's done its job. That's why I've never believed in the whole thing of a guilty pleasure anime. To me, it shouldn't be a guilty pleasure you like something. Just because you like a show that no one else likes doesn't mean it's a guilty pleasure. I'm not afraid to tell people I like certain shows. It's never been a thing where, oh, you like this show? How could you? It's terrible. I don't give a shit if you don't like the show or not. It's a form of medium. It's like music. It's like books. It's like any form of thing. You say you like it. You like it. If you don't, you don't. That's the bottom line to it. Our perception is different based on who we are. And that's why Beatless, I think that a greater majority is definitely split in the show right now, because I'm noticing people really loving the show, and then people saying it's okay, or it's very similar to Guilty Crown. And Guilty Crown, that's a scary thought that if it's similar to Guilty Crown, because Guilty Crown to me was one of those shows that it started off really strong, and then it got weaker as time went by, and then became this just mess of a story. While Beatless, I want to say that it's been back and forth. The first episode was interesting, the second episode not so much, third episode was okay, and this week's episode focusing on Kengo and this, antibody terrorism unit, that was interesting to say the least. I actually thought that was, I want to say kind of a good plot development, because we've seen already people hating on the HIEs in the series so far, and we really haven't seen what they do to hate on them so far. So having this antibody terrorism unit of sorts, we're seeing them actually go and destroy property. They're destroying the places where HIEs are sold. They're destroying the actual systems and stuff like that. And it's just causing havoc, because now people are wondering, what's the deal with these people, because they're growing now in trend. Meanwhile, though, what's ironic about this is that at the same time, of Kengo and his unit attacking the facility, meanwhile, Arata and Lacia are trying to stop him, we have a government hearing in Japan running right then and there to see if we should have an HIE system in play as a government body instead of having people do it. And that's crazy. I think last week I had a comment that made me really, I was laughing about, because it's such a great comment. But the guy said, one thing he loves about the show, and for him it's like the most enjoyable theme to it, is the concept of where soul and humanity is the same thing, and where the kind of boundaries between the two is. Like, does a human have a soul if he treats others badly? And does a robot have a soul if she or he treats a person normally, or feels pain or emotions, etc.? And it's interesting because that's a thought that's been done before in a lot of different shows, but it does kind of play into that, because we're seeing in Beatless, and it's probably the one thing I really enjoy about the show so far, is we already are, by episode 4 established that there are people who love HIEs because of the convenience of them, and there are other people who hate them because they're, quote unquote talking pieces of technology, And that's why I think Kengo is ironic, because you see Kengo when they went to his house, he has all these monitors set up, he has this huge, computer set up, and he uses various systems of the government. Lo and behold, though, he hates HIEs. Why? Because they talk back to you? Because they show emotions? Because they're, quote unquote human beings, but in a fake body? That's what's interesting about the show so far, is because we haven't really seen a lot about HIEs so far. We've only seen a brief concept of them. We've seen the themes that they are robots, they are, mimicking human emotions, they mimic human actions, which, why they go to the store, why they go shopping, why they cater to their masters. Like Lacia, for example, last week, she was basically all over Arata because she wanted to be there for him and make him happier. But, that makes you question, does she really have a soul? I mean, yeah, maybe she is a robotic being, but robots still, they're going off of programming, sure, but at the same time, if she's learning and adapting to things around her, it's a catch-22 because yes, she can be programmed to do that, but where's the programming lie? Is it like, oh, that's exactly what she's supposed to do, or is it because she wants to do that herself? It's interesting, and that's why I kind of think that's interesting about the show so far. So Beatless, you know, it's getting some plot. You know, like I said before this week, it has some plot happening. You know, we're seeing the anti-body terrorism organization going and trying to take down all the HA politics, etc. But I'm scared for the show because I don't feel like it's that great of a show. I feel like it's missing the mark here and there. You know, there have been other shows that have done the same concept a lot better. And, you know, one of the shows for me is Chobits. Chobits did that very good. Plastic Memories, for example, did it phenomenal. If you've never seen Bioplastic Memories, I highly recommend checking Plastic Memories out. It's more romance, it's less action. There is some action in it, but it's a more romance-focused story. But it's such a great story to show, I think, the humanity in robots. Because, you know, it's always been a thing that's been done in sci-fi, is that do robots have the ability to become human? And you have to wonder, do they? You know, programming, aren't we as humans programmed to do certain things? You know, that's just because our brains work in that section. It's like, oh, you know, you go to work, you start learning how to type, or you learn how to do this, or you learn the concepts of your job. Lo and behold, aren't you programmed right there because your mind is telling you, this is how you do this, this is what you have to do. Besides the whole concepts of why you want to do it, it's not really, you know, we have a soul, quote unquote, but at the same time, why is it so hard for an advanced AI to eventually get a soul of some sort? You know, it's definitely a catch. It really is, and it's curious to me because I really have always thought that was a kind of cool concept of sci-fi. I have my thoughts that I don't think AI can really get a soul per se. You know, I think in stories they can. I really do that. In real life, I don't think they can. But at the same time, I don't think they should be treated any worse. Like, you know, when we have AI programs and stuff like that, you shouldn't really hate on them. They're doing their job. They're doing what we programmed to do. You know, we told them to do this. They're doing what they're supposed to do. That's why, you know, I'm not saying Beatless is bad. I want to put that out there again. I know this review is kind of going off tangent with a little bit. But I want to say that I hope to see more cool concepts from it. Like that ending sequence right after the credits, which I hope you guys saw, with Lacia activating this kind of weird thermal thing where it actually made them invisible only if you have glasses on and stuff like that, or you have certain eyes that can see. That was cool. And I think that's one thing that Beatless is going to do very well, is to have this cool technology theme. But 4 episodes in, and we're already getting to some nitty-gritty, it could be a good show. It really could. I'm still hoping that it will be. What do you guys think about Beatless so far? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And you know what? I'll throw in a question for you, too. What do you think about AIs and stuff like that? Because I would always love to hear from people that, you know, have a sci-fi themed background. Because I love sci-fi. I think sci-fi is one of my, I don't want to say favorite genres per se, but it's definitely like my top 5 favorite genres. And you know, I've always thought that it was very interesting to see like the robotics concept, so, you know, versus where humanity lies and stuff like that in robots and AI and artificial intelligence, etc. You know, well, AI and artificial intelligence, same thing. You know what I mean. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great, brilliant day, everyone. God bless you all. I will see you tomorrow with like 4 reviews. In case you guys are wondering, by the way, March Comes to the Line will not be airing tomorrow for the next 3 weeks. That won't be actually airing because of the Winter Olympics in Japan. So do not expect any reviews for that for the next 3 weeks. Just tell you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye.